So my name is Steve Shields. I'm the business manager at Central West Driver Training. We just have a short video just to explain to you the two types of trucks we operate here at Central West Driver Training. We have 3 Western Stars, all fitted with 18-speed road rangers, and we have automated transmissions, AMTs, in our other trucks. So today's just to give you a quick explanation on what the differences are between the two trucks. Okay, the main difference with the Road Ranger transmission as opposed to the manual gearbox you're used to in a car, the Road Ranger transmission requires double clutching. It has no synchros in the gearbox, so therefore if you get the change wrong, it will grind and grind pretty bad. So each gear movement requires double clutching, so that means the clutch must be depressed twice with each gear change. One presses the clutch to go to neutral, next clutch to put it in gear. Okay, the first thing you'll notice when you hop into a truck like this is there is a lot of switches and gauges. There's anything up to 20 switches on the truck that you've got to get to know what they're for and how they're operated, so you can just do it out of memory. There's at least 16 gauges from all the different temperatures of diff temperatures, engine, water, oil, your tacho, or your air pressure gauges, voltmeters, so that you've got up to 16 gauges to monitor as well. So that's quite complex, as well as all the electronic data that displays what's going on with the engine. Now, to start the engine up, basically we just wait for all the dash lights to go out, start the engine up. Now, the biggest thing with the Road Ranger gearbox is the fact that you have to double the clutch all the gears. So while we're going up through the gears, we just double the clutch the gears. That means you press one clutch to neutral, then you must release and then press another clutch to go into gear. We don't rev during an up change, but we do have to rev during a down change. So we have to do the double clutch. We've got to use techniques that are called progressive shifting. So we use low engine RPM in the low range, then we've got to shift the range lever. Then we use a higher RPM once we go into the high gear. We utilise the same gear shift pattern twice, so we go through 4 gears, range change, then through another 4 gears, and that gives us a series of 18 gears that we can use in the gearbox. When we go down the gears, however, we've got to add revs. So during the downshift, we've got to shift to neutral, release the clutch, we then have to rev the engine, then we've got to push the clutch back in, then change the gear. Because they're a non-synchronised gearbox, unlike your car where you just do one clutch depression and change the gear, the truck we've got to do double the clutch to make the gear change. Even when we're shifting the range lever, we go range lever down, then we've got to go neutral, clutch out, we've got to add revs, then make the shift. Now, if you happen to make a mistake with the gear and you don't double the clutch correctly, the gearbox will grind. And it won't go into gear until the gear change is double the clutch and re-rev to go into gear. So the gearbox has to be perfectly changed or it will grind quite bad. Even when we're changing gears, the distance the clutch is pushed in is very important. If the clutch is pushed down too far, damage will occur to the transmission because they have what's called a clutch brake, and the clutch brake can only be operated when the vehicle's stationary. So if the clutch is pushed in too far while you're driving, you will cause damage to the gearbox. Of course, while you're doing all this, you've got to be monitoring your mirrors for activity behind you as well, so it does take that little bit extra concentration to be able to think of everything. Okay, and then we pull over and we park. So basically that's just a quick introductory into what's involved in a double clutch Road Ranger non-synchronised gearbox. If you choose to go ahead with the 4-day Road Ranger course, at the start of the course we will go through a 1-hour PowerPoint presentation on the correct procedures to operate the gearbox. The course is a very intense 4-day course, so there is a lot to take in, but there's a lot of reward at the end. If you can drive a Road Ranger gearbox, you pretty much can go for any job in any type of truck and your license will cover that. If the Road Ranger gearbox doesn't seem to suit you and it's not what you're after, the AMT gearbox probably would be the better way to go. There are still a lot of jobs out there available for the AMT gearboxes. They cover the synchro gearboxes and they cover the automatic gearboxes. The only thing you can't drive is the double clutch Road Ranger gearbox. So just to clarify that, if you get the automatic truck license, you'll get a B condition on the license, but that still allows you to drive synchro mesh manual, automatic or AMT gearboxes. Okay, as mentioned before, this truck's our AMT, automated manual transmission. They're the truck of the future. Most companies now are going this way. All your major companies that you see on the road, Toll, Linfox, TNT, Finimore's, you'll be lucky to find one of those trucks with a gear stick in it, let alone being a Road Ranger. The trucks are much more convenient, they're easier to drive, they operate better and they actually operate more efficiently. So now I'll just give you a brief demonstration on the rundown of the AMT transmission. The main thing you'll notice in the automated transmission is the 2-pedal operation instead of the 3 pedals that you have in a manual. Of course, there's no clutch pedal. The truck is still equipped with a clutch. It's an automated manual transmission, so it still has a clutch. The clutch is now operated by a very sophisticated computer system. So when you accelerate, a computer controls an air actuator that releases the clutch. So you still have control over how the truck takes off. Once you're moving, the truck's equipped with road speed sensors, so it changes the gear according to the road environment. You can, however, change the modes in the gearbox. We'll explain that during your training course rather than doing that now, but the main thing is you can override the transmission by selecting a manual mode. Once you go into the manual mode, you can manually select the gear you wish to hold. So if you're going up a hill or down a hill, you can control the transmission by manually selecting a gear and holding that gear. So we will explain that further to you on your training course. As you can see, when you're in the manual mode, you can manually select first gear, second gear, third gear, or you can manually select any of the 12 gears in the gearbox. When you're in the automatic mode, it will just automatically select the best suitable gear for the truck. So it's just brake and accelerate. And as I said, this is the way of the modern truck. Most vehicles now are going with the automatics or the AMT gearbox. Hopefully after viewing this presentation today, it has given you enough information so as yourself and your consultant can make an informed decision on which of the trucks would best suit you and which truck you should book in for when you conduct the course here at Central West Driver Training.